Welcome, everyone. This is Toni Weel on another Thursday from beautiful and not so sunny Florida. We get these really weird rain bumps here. I mean, then it is pouring. It's unbelievable. It's interesting to watch when you're dry in your house. It's not so bad. Anyway, we have today with us Gary, and I'm very grateful for that because Gary barely had any connection, only one bar. So at times he looks a little pixelated, but he's here. And we have Sara from Virtuous Unicorns with it. And we don't have Katie, although it is another, podcast that was about Katie's questions. But she is high in the air flying today, so she could not be with us. But I do have her questions with us, and I apologize for my scratchy voice. I don't know what it is. I think I need to take a detox a little deeper, see if we can get that mucus coming out. And drinking that tea with mullein in it, that will help it. And I haven't done that lately, so I will do that and see if it's going to be better next week. Now, one of the questions that we didn't get to last time was actually, are all castor oils the same, or is there a certain castor oil to use? Well, the first thing that is important, it has to be hexane free. And I think most castor oils are. And you need to have the cold pressed one because that one is known to be pure, and it's known for its pure and natural extraction process. It's actually obtained from the seeds of the castor plant without the use of heat. And this method that preserves the vital nutrients in the oil. And yeah, that is the one that I've been using. I have a few and they all say hexane free and cold pressed. So they're good to use for your castor oil pads. I saw something interesting, and I wasn't even aware of that, but it came by, of course. I was thinking about castor oil, and of course, stuff about castor oil came by on my Facebook feed. I'm sure you find that pretty interesting, don't you, Gary? You can think of something and something is picking it up already. I didn't even talk about castor oil before. But okay, this ad was about a little, it's like it's not a Band-Aid, but it's like you put it on your navel and you can put the castor oil in and then it kind of drips in your navel. I would say, you can just drip a few oil drops in your navel, and that would be good. But I think they use that kind of stuff to put it in, well, to keep it going into your navel. But I thought it was interesting. Has
Hmm.
anyone of you ever used it?
Castor oil
Yeah.
on my eyelids, and it helps get rid of uh, cataracts. It can help get rid of the potential. It's like a cautionary thing. You do it before you get cataracts, and it'll keep your eyes clear and clean. Uh, you can use it on your liver, uh, spleen, anywhere. And you do a pack, and you put it on, and you wrap it in Saran wrap, and it'll help to detox your liver. Uh, So it's a really, really important oil to use.
Yeah, I have used it in my eyes, but after the week I gave up, and I think you have to do it more consistent because I do have cataracts in my right eye. And I've had this now, bad vision in my right eye for, oh, what is it, 15 years? And I think because of the diet, it didn't get any worse, but it didn't go away completely either. So it definitely, yeah, I can definitely do the castor oil again. I did put it right, like a drop right in the eye, but I heard that, and I think you were saying that you can just put it on your eyelid and it gets where it needs to go.
It goes right through. So, uh,
Okay.
and put it in your eye. I've never done that.
Okay. Yeah, Lisa says it's great for women in peri and menopause as well as a monthly cycle. I wasn't aware of that. What I did see, and that was actually on Amazon, because you can use these kits and what you said, with a piece of cloth and a saran wrap, but they have these complete all around going wraps that it's not as messy and easier to do when you just, when it's just you. I was looking at this kit and I was like, yeah, right. I'm pretty sure it's going to be everywhere where I don't want it. So I haven't used it. But yeah, and it's also used actually when you have kidney pain, use it on your lower back.
Yeah, it's a really good oil to have in the house and to use on your body, uh, elbows or whatever, because it penetrates. It goes right through and it goes in and it helps reduce inflammation and whatever's going on in your body. So it's an important one to keep on the shelf. But cold pressed, any oil cold pressed is the best.
Right. Yeah.
I just got some because Amazon had their Prime Days and it's on sale. It's still on sale right now, but it's Heritage Store organic castor oil. It is 100% cold pressed and it's hexane free. Comes in a dark glass bottle and the packaging was really good. And then they even had one that was paired with organic cotton. But yeah, it can go everywhere, so use sparingly. And I believe it penetrates 4 inches deep in through the skin. And correct me if I'm wrong, but is castor oil one of the oils that can cross the blood-brain barrier?
Yes.
Yep,
Now, how
that's what
long
I
would
thought.
it stay? How long would it stay? Because, oils, if you keep them, I know it needs to be in a dark bottle. I actually have one that is in a light plastic bottle, and I don't like that
Mhm.
much. But how long would you be able to keep it?
Keep
That
the
I
cash.
don't know.
Yeah. And how often would you use it?
Well, when I was for my eyes every day.
Right. But when you would put it like on the kidneys, would you use that every day?
You know, most of that's going to depend on your body and your situation. Uh, because we need to start listening to our body. Our body is trying to communicate with us 24 hours a day. Like up here at 10,500 feet, there's not a lot of oxygen. When we were building the heart fire ring, uh, I was bending and picking up rocks, and I'm like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" I didn't even notice. I didn't remember. I'm at 10,500 feet, and there's not a lot of oxygen, so we have to acclimate to this particular oxygen climate. So there's not enough. Let's call it gas, because that's what oxygen or air is gas. So we're not getting enough in to make everything function properly. So it's like pins and needles for me. It's different for other people. And then as soon as I would stand up for a couple of seconds, it would go away because I was breathing and pulling that oxygen back in and not exerting myself. So yeah, that was an interesting experience. First time I've ever experienced that too, by the way. So I'm going to be teaching breath work up here in Leadville, Colorado at 10,500 feet, which I already said that, but, uh, and we're going to have an amazing time here. But the performers like, Jody and Amy, Jamie and the Dreamers, well, they have to acclimate their breath because not only they have to move on stage, they have to sing, they have to play the instruments. Uh, it's going to be interesting. You know, I brought oxygen with me for people in case they have an issue. Then we can give them a little shot of oxygen to help balance them out. Uh, but it's going to be a good time. I can tell you that. It's going to be fun. Experience of a lifetime right here, 20th to 23rd. And bring
That
your
sounds
Castor Oil.
amazing.
Yeah, we're gonna have qigong and yoga and 3 nights of live music with 3 different bands. There'll probably be 50 of us here, potluck every night. So I'm here now, helping set up camp because I'm one of the organizers. And this is going to be an annual event. It may not always be in this spot, but that's going to be the goal is to make it an annual event. So,
Sounds great.
yep, should be fun. We're already
Yeah,
having,
you should do that kind of events like every year in every state. So travel to other states, do those kind of events.
as
Yeah,
it gets traction, we will do that.
perfect. Perfect.
Next, follow
I wanted,
and
go ahead.
state
I'm sorry.
all the way down through California, over into Arizona, Texas, New Mexico, all the way down to Florida. They did one tour all the way down through there, so they're used to traveling.
Nice.
There was
That's
6
good.
here. And I was already in Colorado. But it's beautiful.
All
So,
right. I had it was
Toni,
yeah.
I
Go
was gonna say
ahead.
I wanted to chime in on that castor oil. So if you want to do like a gentle detox 2 to 3 times a week, but if you're looking to jump in and do like a heavier detox with the castor oil, 4 to 5 times a week. And just, you know, rub it in where you need it. It's good on your breast, it's good on your liver, it's good on your abdomen, your womb area. Um, you can use it like on the back of your arms for like skin tightening, lymphatic drainage, just stuff like that. And of course, I haven't really researched much for the eyes, but I know like what Gary was just saying, people use it on their eyebrows, their eyelashes. I mean, it's great.
Yeah.
because it penetrates through and goes into the muscle.
Mhm.
It's an amazing oil.
Didn't they used to take it internally too for like bowel movements back in like
Yeah,
the 60s,
if you
70s?
well, yeah, and still you can still do that if you're very, very constipated.
Yeah.
It's like otherwise I wouldn't do that. Still gets in your body. I mean,
Hmm.
when you put it on your skin,
Yep.
but I'm kind of careful always with putting outside stuff on my skin. And it's like they say, if you can't put it in your mouth, then don't put it on your skin. Because, it's not a food. So I would use it occasionally and not consistently. But that is just me. That is what Gary said. Listen to your body. And
Hmm.
it's good that you mentioned how deep you want to take your detox and to use it. But if it causes pain, then you stop it, evaluate and stop, evaluate and see, maybe you need to wait a little longer to do it again. I've
Yeah.
known of people putting it what is it, on lymph nodes, on swollen lymph nodes to soften it up. And with swollen lymph node, it's also, you can massage it very, very gently and of course, always use what Carrie has been teaching us about opening up of the six lymphatic gates. I've been talking with the last few weeks with people about this. They had never heard of it. And all of a sudden it was like, oh my God, this makes so much sense.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
It all works in combination of everything. Open the
Yeah.
gates, eat a clean diet, drink your water, use your castor oil. These are all tools, but the bottom line is you got to get your terrain cleared up. If you can't keep eating crap and then expecting castor oil to come in and rescue you. But that's
No,
with anything.
no, but we're here to all learn and to move forward on our healing journey. and do the best we can. And the more we learn and the more we understand, because that is a big part of your unlearning and learning, understand why you're doing it and how the body works, and always listen to your body. So that is major. And okay, we have a next question is that Katie mentioned, I see posts that say vegetables are scrubbers. And yet on Dr. Morse's detox pyramid, fruits are higher up. So is it necessary to eat vegetables to be healthier? Well, my experience is that, for detox, a real deep detox, one should only eat fruit. And you can do that for a few weeks to a few months, whatever works best for you. And this is again, listen to your body. Dr. Morse is for detoxing, not big on vegetables. And I learned after being a long time on mostly fruits, very little vegetables, that my already bad teeth that I had since my whole life, and it was always kind of a struggle, and that I didn't get the minerals I needed. I ate very little because I can do with very little food and not even think twice when I'm on all fruit, not even think about it, and then realize at the end of the day I barely ate anything. So I definitely did not get the nutrients in. On top of that, over the years, I had an absorption issue. I had that I was even diagnosed with it when I was in my late teens. So you see, you can have all kinds of issues, not being aware of it and not being aware that you don't even get enough nutrition in to keep your teeth healthy. And I think that is a big thing. And now it's like, yes, I do need to eat the greens. So it is like Dr. Morse feels you can only really heal, really detox heal when you do all fruit. But how long you do the all fruit, that's up to you. And there is a part of you detox and you regenerate, and you need to find a balance in that. And if you find it difficult to do that on your own, then, get with us. And I have one-on-one consultations, and Gary can help you out, and even Sarah can help you out. She knows as much as I do. So and can guide you on this what I call it's not an easy journey, but it's definitely a beautiful journey. And finding the balance, we always talk about that. Finding balance in is important. It may be different from another person, or it may be, yeah, but Dr. Morse is teaching this now. Yeah, it depends on what level are you at. What have you done so far? I mean, if I talk to somebody who has years of chemo and still has the cancer and nothing has changed yet, then what do we do? Then it's like, okay, focus now. This is only fruit. Don't focus on anything, just the fruit. So it is all about, what levels are you on and how long can you do it. But yes, vegetables are important. And I'm not talking about all the cooked stuff. I'm really talking about the greens, the lettuces, tomato, cucumber. And, some people is like, well, tomatoes are not healthy. Well, tomatoes can actually be pretty healthy. They have a lot of nutrients in it. And if you feel that, you shouldn't eat a tomato, eat a cherry tomato. That's actually what Dr. Moore said too. You want to eat tomatoes, eat cherry tomatoes. Don't forget the cucumbers. I mean, I have this list, mucusless foods list, and like all the foods listed there in green, and I think most people already have this list. All the foods listed in green, they are for detoxing, and it does have the vegetables in it. And can you detox if you do fruit and vegetables? Absolutely. Your body wants to heal, and as long as you don't give it junk food, that's what it will work on. And of
Yeah.
course, we do the correct breathing, and we do the exercises and in the opening up of the six lymphatic gates, and we keep repeating this. Jump in, guys.
I have a recipe possibly, and tell me what you guys think about it. So we talked about fermented foods before and how they're not good for us, but I've always liked pickles. So I've been doing some research and I found a pickle recipe. It is cucumber sliced thin, soaked in lemon juice with some dill and mustard powder and garlic powder and onion powder. Just little
Mm,
pinches of all that. And it pretty much resembles a pickle. Now, would you
Okay.
consider that pickling? I mean, because like I only let it soak for like 10 minutes
wow.
and it was pretty darn good.
Mm,
So, I mean, fresh lemon juice and, I mean, I know they're like spices and stuff like that, but you could probably even technically leave it out and just use the dill. But I mean, it was pretty darn good.
Yeah, the dill and maybe some green salt or some
Yeah.
celery salt.
I
Yeah,
do
it
have
could do
that
that work.
Redmond salt,
You have what?
that Redmond's mineral salt or whatever.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
yeah. Red Mills or something like that.
Yes,
Redmond
I
Mill.
think it's what it's called. Yes, that's it, Redmond.
Yeah.
I could add some of that to it too, but I had trouble always eating cucumbers plain. And then this way, I mean, no problem.
All
So,
right.
Uh-huh.
is it the best? I don't know, but it's just lemon juice, right?
Right.
Yeah. It's like, you do what you can. It's not, a food stable. You're not going to eat it, every day, I
No,
assume.
no, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, definitely fruit for sure. That is your highest frequency foods. It is your most hydrating foods. When you're detoxing or you're trying to heal anything or you just want to clean your body out, that's the route to go. And then after you get through that, then start slowly introducing your veggies and start with your light leafy greens. Don't go with anything hard. And I mean, the more I learn about carrots, the more we probably shouldn't eat carrots, especially the ones that are so widely popular for us. But if you find like
Hmm.
the heirloom carrots or the multicolored carrots, yeah, you could have some of them, but I wouldn't make them like your staple. Your staple should always be your fruits, and then you add in your veggies. And then if you do want to explore like nuts and seeds, go for it, but keep it very sparingly. I'm so blown away at how fatty nuts are, and the smallest amount is insane to me
Yeah.
still.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead, Carrie.
Energetically, right? Fruits are here, vegetables are here. So if you're on fruit for a long time, you can actually get overcharged because most people right now are undercharged because they're eating dead food, dead body, food, live body. Well, so if you start to elevate too high and you feel like you're not grounded, that's where the vegetables come in because even though they're alive, they're a lower energy frequency. So they will pull you back into balance. And that's what you're looking for is okay, not enough fruit. Okay. Now we start with more fruit and we start to get out of balance because the pendulum is always swinging and it depends on what's going on in your life, stress factors and all this, whether you're breathing properly. 70% of your detox is through your breath. uh, so it's important to remember that we're dealing with energy and we are energy. We're a tuning fork and we're a pressure based processing system. And we have to maintain our internal pressures to get everything to move. That's why the breathing through the nose is so important. Having that diaphragm drop, 2/3 of our fluid is right here. So when the diaphragm drops, it's massaging because of your pelvic floor, because that's what holds everything up in there. Okay. And when that gets weak, everything starts to sag. So as we strengthen that pelvic floor through the pressure pushing down on it, the heart relaxes. Okay. And it creates nitric oxide, which helps the heart, the lungs, and all your arteries and veins relax. So the simple things about breath is that it's moving everything in the body. You breathe through your nose, your head expands, everything in your body expands. It pushes more blood through, it pushes more lymph through, and it starts to break up areas where there's density or scar tissue. It'll start to move that and break that up so the blood and lymph can get in there to feed and clean. And that's how the body regenerates. But it will do it on its own. If you do the mechanical part outside, the body will do the rest. So we shouldn't be on like just fruit for a really long time. But your body will let you know when it's time to start throwing putting some vegetables in. And coming off a fast, for every 4 days that you fast, you should do 1 day of reintroduction. So in 10 days, you do 2 days of reintroducing food into your system. Like you might start with a fruit or green smoothie, and then working maybe into a vegetable soup. You want softer things, and that gives the digestive system a chance to reboot, to rebuild its acids, so that you don't have those issues that you used to have. So I'll end right there.
Well, that was important, Gary, and that is a good way of doing it. Yes, absolutely. There was a question about, is it true that green peppers are unripe peppers and we should not eat them? Well, that is what I learned. I mean, they go from green to orange to red, and they get sweeter the more dark the color is. So I really like the red ones. And way back, I used to eat them cooked in usually a mixture, but always the greens in there, and it always gave me stomach issues. It was burping, and my body did not like it. I like the taste, but I tell you, if I tell you how I used to eat them, and I'm talking way back in my 20s, that was I heated them up with a whole package of real butter and let it simmer for like an hour. That's how I ate them. Lots of fats and unripe green peppers. So no, I don't eat them anymore. If ever, then I eat the red ones. And I can handle, my stomach, my body can handle those. I don't know, what's your guys' experience?
I love them all.
Good.
Doesn't matter. I love them all. And my body can handle that. I guess
Right.
that's the important part, is that my body can handle it.
Yeah.
And if it can't, then either figure out a new way to prep it or don't eat it anymore.
Yeah, I found that at any time when I eat them, it's like gives me some issues, so my body is clear. Nope. But it is good to know that the green pepper is an unripe pepper, and it's better to eat the dark colored ones. To
I never liked them, so I've
no.
never had a problem with them. We have a question over here from Lisa. She says, I see where any vegetables grown underground are not meant for us to eat, as well as cruciferous vegetables.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we don't have the nails for digging. I mean, that's not what we do. So when it comes to it, it's not really food for humans. I mean, that is not how it was meant to be. Of course, a carrot is you can easily pull that out of the ground. I don't know about with the cruciferous vegetables. How long have they been around? Yesterday, I came across someone who said if it didn't grow 200 years ago, then it's not food for us, then it's all man-made. And that goes into the oh so popular avocados. 150 years ago, they didn't exist. And now they do, and they are pretty what was I gonna say? What was the word? Well, once you start eating them, you want to keep eating them.
They're
Addictive.
addictive.
Addictive. That was the word. And
Well,
what
it's
that
because they're heavy in the fat content, and it makes
oh my
us just
yeah.
feel good. And it's like it's like an ibuprofen for our whole body when you take in fat
Right.
like that. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
constantly hear, but it's a good fat. Fat is
Uh,
fat. Oil is
yeah.
oil. I mean,
Yeah.
you got to
Yeah.
just decide how much fat you want to put into you.
Yeah, and I'm not like, you should never eat any fats. I mean, for me, it's always it's always detrimental, and it's easily too much. And when we go to the nuts or the seeds, it's like, do you ever eat just two or three nuts?
Mm-mm.
I don't think
No.
so.
Like a handful of cashews, like a small handful, 1 ounce is 12 grams of fat. And those are raw, unsalted, organic. I mean, you could say it's like the best kind of cashew you can get. They're so fatty. Like it's just crazy.
Yeah, I think there needs to be some fats in our diet,
Of
and
course.
I think we get that from the fruits and the veggies already. And I learned that if you eat like half an avocado, here's another thing, it's the same as those few nuts. Who eats half an avocado? But you can eat like half an avocado 2, 3 times a week, and then you get all the fats that you need. I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, but
Yep.
no one ever eats half an avocado. And how often didn't it happen that we buy a bag with avocados, and of course they're not ripe when you buy them, and then the next day, no, they're not ripe, and then the next day, oh, they overripe, and then they all get brown, and it's like, yeah, well, now I have to use all of them.
I
Yeah.
cannot, like, if I eat avocado, it's very little because my body does not like avocado. So luckily, I guess I'm
Really?
not into them. Yeah. I used to get like where something would swell in my throat, like a feeling. And
Wow.
then that doesn't happen anymore, but it hits my stomach like a rock. I try to keep my fat under 10 grams a day. My husband tries to stay under 20 grams a day. And I will tell you, his A1C went from a 10 to a 6.5. And so now he's just still working through that and everything too. And he still eats meat, like we've talked before, and he still does rice and stuff, but he does, heavy fruits all throughout the day. And then he has a meal at night. But again, that meal, he's keeping everything under, like his whole day stays under 20 grams of fat a day. He tries maybe even lower, but he aims for 10, but it goes over. So
Yeah,
that's
and in a
what
regular
we look
diet,
for.
it's often easily over 100 and even
Oh,
more.
yeah.
So,
1 tablespoon of butter
Mm.
is 11 grams of fat.
yeah.
I mean, it's crazy all the sneaky fats that they'll put into stuff. But
No,
yeah, you gotta like
absolutely.
watch it. And every restaurant you go to, they only list the calories. And it's like, whoa, how much fat's in that though? And they'll never tell you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you gotta like really look at it. But yeah, avocados, um, I used to love them on toast, mashed together, a little bit of salt, a little bit of lemon juice, and it was amazing. But I just can't do them very often.
Dr. Robert Young. Now, I don't agree with his theory on this, but he recommends you eat 40 avocados a day. I'm like,
Does
really?
does he have an avocado farm? Does he make money? I mean,
Matter of fact, he does.
there you go. That's why. Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So that's
Oh my.
something. All right. Can we move on to the next question, or I guess we can. It was about aloe vera. Have you ever put aloe vera in your juice? And if so, how do you juice aloe, and why would you want to add it to your juice? Well, I never did. And I have growing a lot of aloe because it grows like a weed here. And it looks quite interesting, but I've never cut one open to get that slimy part out and then put it in the juice. Um, I don't know why you would want to do that. What is your guys' opinion?
Can you say that again?
Why would you want to put aloe vera in your juice?
Oh, yeah. I used to do that. Uh, because aloe vera is really alkalizing for the body. And It has, I can't even list the benefits. There's so many that aloe vera has within the body. So yeah, it's really important. It's gelatinous for one thing. And that's about really all I can say about it. I loved it in the
Yeah, you
usage.
mentioned it has benefits, but Dr. Moore says, why would anyone want to use it? So he's not like, okay, you need this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, why would we need it? I don't really believe in taking things to prevent something, because I do feel that all the things that we always talk about, the breathing, exercise, foods, etc., will do what is needed, and we don't need to add extra stuff. And as far as I know, aloe vera was not on the list of needs, as in food.
The only thing that I've ever saw on it, which I did go back and look at my notes, because I was looking into it too. I was going to use it, like we've used it for like burns, suntan stuff, like when you get burned when we were kids. My grandfather always had an aloe plant in Florida, and we would just go and rub it on ourselves. And I know that I've used it in my hair before, that kind of stuff, but I've never taken it internally. But from what I've read, is it can help with bloating, acid reflux, ulcers, IBS, and IBD, constipation, or mucus in the stool. But I don't know if any of that is really true. And it's really good for internal hydration and lymph flow. But again, like if you get open up all of your lymphatic gates and you're eating hydrating stuff in the first place, do we really need that? I don't know. I kind of clump it in with, what are they, like seaweed and that kelp and all that stuff people would get like from the ocean too. So I don't know.
Yeah, I can see it as a temporarily thing to help clear something up, but not as
Mhm.
an as a daily thing, a daily detox.
Yeah, or using it as like a crutch, or
Like
just like an extra, like something like this will help me. I don't know.
Okay, next question was, if somebody has a heart that is defined as a fib, F-I-B, which I think means that it's beating too quickly, what would you recommend them to do?
That's AFib. So if somebody's an
AFib.
AFib,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. Gary?
So can you repeat that? There's a little wind and there's a lot of river noise here.
If somebody has a heart that is defined as AFib, which I think means that it's beating too quickly, what would you recommend them to do?
Yeah, so if they have AFib, what would you send them to do? So yeah, AFib is where it has that extra rhythm, and they need to be put back into rhythm. My stepdad had to go through that.
Yeah, it's irregular.
Hmm.
And that's electrical, right?
Yep, I
Yep,
would do the
sure
deep
is.
breathing.
What controls the electrical system?
Your autonomic system,
Breath.
your adrenals and breath.
Yeah. Your first breath was in, it turned on your electrical system.
Yep.
And your last breath is out. It turns it off, the energy goes back to source, and the body stays here. So there's an electrical imbalance there. And if you want to correct it, live liquids, creating a new story, not the one that the hospital's telling you, and do your breath work. In through the nose, nice and slow. Exhale longer than you inhale. Their body's most likely, and you can almost guarantee it's in fight or flight. So there's more fluid in the limbs, there's more blood in the limbs. When you exhale longer than you inhale, it pulls the blood back from the limbs back into the body. Nice deep belly breaths. Get those ribs to open up, because that's, the lungs don't breathe. They're just a sac. It's our muscles and our chest's ability to expand and contract. That's what we call it, a rib cage. If it gets stuck, you can't take a full breath. You want to open that up and you get more oxygen in. And that transfers into the blood, which goes around and oxygenates all the cells and balances out the electrical system. So That's what I would do right there. And I don't care what your heart issue is. If it's electrical, it's breath, lack of hydration, most likely lack of nutrition. You might have a malabsorption issue. Stress levels could be through the roof. You might be experiencing anxiety. That's all controlled by your breath. So that's what I would do. I would start breathing and making sure that I was eating fruits, berries, melons for a little while, and then start mixing in. And you can't really mix fruit and vegetables together. The only one, especially in like a green smoothie, which I've done, and I don't have a problem with it, but some people do. Apple is the only fruit that can go into a fruit salad with no vegetables or into a vegetable salad. It's the only one that's universal like that. So
Yeah, and
it's
lemon.
important. It's something to do with the digestion rate, and the fruit starts to ferment if it's in there too long. It has to pass through. It's so quick. And fruit is an astringent. Vegetables are builders. So that's another thing. Okay, if we get into fruit for too long and we're pulling things from the body to detox it, at some point we have to stop and start reintroducing builders to build the body back up. So that's where I'd end right there.
Yep.
Okay.
I definitely would say the hydration, because when my stepdad was in it too, he was chronically dehydrated. And I think that's very important. And then even having your oranges, your watermelons, things like that, everything kind of relates back to everything we preach constantly: hydration, breath work, things like that. And the way he would breathe, he couldn't breathe very well either before he went into AFib. He would constantly have pneumonia. He even like broke the cartilage in his ribs because he was having trouble breathing a few times. So like, if you just imagine how locked up everything is in there before like your body gets into like AFib or gets all electrically out of whack. So, yep. Hydration and fruit is a good starter.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to clean that out.
Mm-hmm. And you know what else is real funny, Gary? I'm thinking about it. I listen to people breathe constantly now. Like I see people breathing, I hear them breathing, and I'm like, oh gosh, they can't breathe.
Yeah. Yeah. And they think they can. There's a lot of people you say, I teach breath work. Well, I already know how to breathe. No,
Yeah,
obviously, we're not taught how to breathe because it puts you in fight or flight. And that's where the leaders of the world can control the masses. When we
yep,
are
absolutely.
blind, it's hard to move somebody off center. It takes more and more physical violence because that's all they have. They don't come to your house and say, would you like to do? They come to your house with guns drawn and scare the crap out of you, put you in fight or flight, and you will do whatever they say. And this last, 4 or 5 years now since COVID hit, that's exactly what they did to get everybody to take the shot. They just scared the crap out of them. You can't go to school, you can't go to work, you can't do this, you can't go to the hospital, you can't visit your friends. People's moms, fathers, uncles died. They weren't even allowed to go see them. That is not a government for the people. I can tell you that right now. So get your balance, get your breath, realign yourself, fruits, berries, melons. And after you do the time that you want to doing that, if your body says it's time to stop, then it's time to get off that and get back into fruits and vegetables, but not together if you can help them. Maybe an hour apart or something like that.
Yeah. Or you could do like your fruits during the day and then your veggies at night.
Right.
Because the fruits move faster.
Move faster, and they give you more energy to get you through your day. But breath, along with that, is that hydration. And you know me, I'm a master cleanse fanatic because it's so little in cost and so powerful in cleansing the body. So it costs like a buck and a half to make 32 ounces. Where you make 32 ounces of grape juice or 32 ounces of whatever you're making in fruit, it can get expensive. I'm not saying it's not worth it. I'm saying for those that don't have the money to do that, the Master Cleanse is the ultimate solution. Okay.
Two more things I wanted to add when you just said that. I cannot afford to buy oranges anymore and juice them myself. It's about 90 some dollars a week now. But Trader
Yeah.
Joe's sells orange juice not from concentrate. And then, so they have it from concentrate, not from concentrate. And then they have one more step up, which not from concentrate and not pasteurized. And that ends up to be about $30 a week, which I know that sounds expensive, but I only do water, orange juice, water, and then I do fruits through the night. So, that's within my budget. So Trader Joe's definitely has that option, and that's the only place I've seen it. And it comes in 59 ounces. So each carton lasts me 2 days.
All right.
Yeah. So, and then the other thing I wanted to say is I've been doing the breath work laying down. And then I
Mm-hmm.
started doing breath work in the morning, standing outside. Doing your
Mm-hmm.
breath work between laying down versus standing up are two totally different things.
Mm-hmm.
And the standing up is so much harder than, so I'm training myself on how to breathe properly while I'm standing.
Yes.
And I didn't like that, always shocks me that I have trouble doing that while I stand.
Yeah, and our lungs are more towards our back than our front. So when
Mm-hmm.
we down, our body is putting pressure on those, and it's harder to get a full breath. You get a better breath standing. But most people doing breath work need to learn either sitting or laying down. And then as you learn what the body is going through, then when you stand up, you have a better idea of how you feel and whether you need to sit down or, because in the Qigong classes, I always do that. We're going to do a certain breath. If you feel like you're going to get lightheaded, sit in a chair and we'll do the breath work there because that's okay. Because you're still not putting your back on the back of the chair. So you're still getting that full expression. It's still better standing because the body is able to expand and contract without resistance. Because everything below the belly button expands and contracts at the same time that you do that breath. Your head and everything down here expands and contracts, the whole torso of the body, and it pushes blood out into the limbs. And it's really, really important to understand that when we control the breath, we control our emotions and our life. When somebody else controls it, you are out of control. And all you have to do is learn to breathe, and it's free, and change your story. If things happened to you in the past, I get it. It happened to all of us. But is it still happening? And if it isn't, why are we still carrying that story? And why are we having such a hard time letting it go? Because it's coloring the lens that we see the world in, and it's affecting, whether we know it or not, every decision we make. And if those people did that to you, or a person did that to you, would you want them controlling your decisions that are taking you into the future? That's where I had to go to get the understanding that I needed to let go. It didn't matter. That was then. If I want to change my life, change my diet, change my energy, change my story, letting go of that is the first and most important step you'll do. Okay.
Okay, we have a long one here. Katie wrote, someone has been experiencing back pain in the left upper area across from the heart for about 2 months. They thought it was a heart issue because they sometimes feel pain on the front left chest area. What do you think would cause that knot in the backside, and why do they feel it sometimes in the front side? What do you think that they should do about it? They did get their heart monitored, but the results came back negative. They also have done several different massage therapies, but the knot still remains.
Well,
Did you-
I ended up in the hospital over that years ago. I thought I was dying because it was so bad. It was coming up my face, going down my arm. Get to the hospital, and I'm perfectly healthy. Nothing's wrong with my heart. And it was knots in my shoulder, and I was able to fix it through physical therapy and through massage therapy. But this was, years ago before I knew any of this other stuff. But I also believe that I was extremely dehydrated too. And things were just starting to, I don't know the technical word for it, but harden. Like my muscles were just hardening and, working at computer all the time and
Mhm.
just things like that. Poor posture, volleyball. Yeah. So I think it was just, I would go with hydration and, movement of some sort to try to get that taken care of.
Yeah, it could be emotional. I'd say most times it would be emotional. Uh, Breathing into it and giving it permission to let go, to get rid of it, tell the body to push it out of the body. It's there to try to protect you, but it's causing an issue. So it's time for it to go. And what you do is breathe through your nose right into wherever that is. All right. Energy flows where attention goes. If your attention is on that spot, it'll flow into it. And you tell it to get out of your body. It does not serve you. It never will serve you. And you would say it like this: it does not serve me. It never will serve me. So I am telling the body to produce the chemicals to release whatever that is from me. I don't care what it is. I don't care how it got there. You may know, but a lot of people don't. And you inhale and you blow it out. You tell your body, when I exhale, I want to get rid of that energy because it's an energy cyst and it's traveling according to whatever emotional thing you're going through. That's what I would say. And I don't know your stress level or there's anxiety or depression, but that's all oxygen. You start breathing and start working your body and changing the pressures inside, that will go away.
Yeah, I think that is the only answer. I did what you described, by the way, Sarah. I had that exactly same thing. Pain in my left arm and felt weakness and pain in my neck and sweating, and I did have a heart attack. So, but yeah,
Yeah, that's what I thought too, but fortunately it wasn't because I mean it was everything you would have ever textbook read. And I even called my sister-in-law who works for a doctor and they put me on with the cardiologist and he said, go, don't even call, go to the fire department because they're just right down the road. And I went down there and they checked me out, put me to the hospital, and I was fine.
yeah.
So thankfully. And
Yes.
thankfully those
Thank
pains went away.
Well, I have to say I did the deep breathing then too because that is usually my go-to. But I did go to the hospital because I got scared. This is 12 years ago now, and but the more scary was actually the stuff they did in the hospital
Mm-hmm.
with all the dye and see if there were blockages, and there were none. And I refused stents, and they said, "Oh, it was a good thing you refused it because it wouldn't have helped anyway." And that is usually the first thing that they do want to do. But anyway, there is yeah,
Listen,
go ahead.
here, I was watching a Dr. Wallach video, and this guy was having heart issues, fibrillation. So they cut him open, and they took a heat, like a soldering iron, and they started burning holes in his heart to try to stop it from that. And guess what? He died right there on the table. Shocker. These guys will never be held responsible for that.
Well, there's a lot they should be held responsible for, and it's not happening.
Mm.
So, yeah. Okay, let's move on. It was about supplementing with digestive enzymes. I hear that so many times. Like, yeah, we do need to take that. And I'm like, well, no, we don't really. But I started reading something in Dr. Morse's book, the one that is called the Detox Miracle Source Book. If you don't have it, get it. Ton of great information in there. And he actually has a section, page 74, and that is, should we be supplementing with digestive enzymes? And this book is written, it's already more than 10 years ago. I don't know exactly when. But he mentioned the sale of digestive enzyme supplements is big business these days. And there are companies that support their use by advocating live blood cell analysis and other diagnostic tools. We all have digestive weakness to some extent, and especially if the pancreas is weak, if you are thin and cannot put on weight, or if you have diabetes or hypoglycemia, or you see undigested foods in your stool, except corn, so that doesn't digest anyway, then you should consult with your healthcare practitioner about regenerating your pancreas. Now, relying on supplemented digestive enzymes on a regular basis can eventually shut down your pancreas. So please be aware, because they don't put that on the box or the pill thing when you buy it. That can be the results if you keep taking them.
Jeez.
Nonetheless, in some extreme or chronic conditions, it may be advisable to take digestive enzymes with every other meal or every third or fourth meal. Only take them for short periods of time until you can restore normal pancreatic and intestinal function. Definitely stop taking them when you eat raw, uncooked foods. Wean yourself from them until you are only using them with cooked, hard to digest foods. Then stop entirely. If you are eating all cooked, acidic foods, then you may need to add occasional digestive enzymes, since cooking your food destroys its enzymes and put the total burden of digestion up on your body. Consuming your foods juiced and or eating them raw will help tremendously in revitalizing your pancreas and yourself. He writes further, it is beyond the scope of this book to explore further on the subject of enzymes as biocatalysts. However, it is enough to reiterate, I cannot pronounce that word.
Reiterate, maybe?
Reiterate, there we go. Thank you, Sarah.
Uh-huh.
That life begets life and death begets death. Without enzymes, we have death. Enjoy the natural flavors of fresh, whole, ripe, and raw foods. God has given us a smorgasbord of food and the ability to obtain them. Seek out organic, fresh, and raw, enzyme-rich foods, as enzymes are the key to life.
Mm-hmm. I know before I start eating, my mouth is already watering, so the enzymes are already starting to activate. And then, I mean, something like fruit is self-digesting for the most part. So the fruit's already digesting itself before, it even gets down into your stomach. And then your raw veggies and stuff like that too, they're gonna have the enzymes, but I'd say too, you're eating too many cooked foods, too many acid foods, protein heavy. If you're needing that's the other thing I just thought of. If you need help breaking down the food you're putting in your mouth, is that food really meant for you? I mean,
Right.
yeah.
And this, yes, because stomach acid is a big part of that. If you're not completely digesting your food, then your stomach acid is too weak. And that can really mess up your immune system and make you more vulnerable to different diseases within the body.
But I have to say, enzymes, it is a big thing because everyone that I talk to, it's like, oh yeah, and I take enzymes, and I'm like, why?
Mm-mm.
Well, feels better and the food digests better. And it's like, then we, of course, we get to, what are you eating?
Yeah. Well, well,
Yeah,
even the naturopathic doctor that I used to see like, I don't know, 15 years ago or something, she had us on um two different enzymes. One was to break down the proteins and one was to break down, I forget whatever one that she had us on. And she even had my son on them too, who never has eaten meat. And let me say out there, like, that's always been his choice. I mean, he has very limited food choices in the first place, but he has never chose to have meat. And it was never because I withheld it, even though it was my own choice. But he's always chosen no meat. So, but she even had him on like a protein enzyme for a while too. And I remember they were in powder. You had to keep them in the refrigerator, and you took them right before you ate your meals so they could be ready. I was like, okay. And of course, it cost a fortune. So I tell you what, this whole meal plan that I'm on now, it's like it is the most, like, if you're lazy, this is the best thing you could ever be on, because you literally just get up and open your bag of grapes and eat them, or you peel some oranges and eat them, or you pour yourself an orange juice.
yeah, it is easy, and you don't even think about meals anymore. I always said,
No.
I love to cook. I really did. I love to create meals. So
Hmm.
when cooking was out, then it was creating raw meals, but it was still about the creation. I have to admit, the last few years, I haven't even thought about it. I was always about making recipes and it's not important anymore. The whole meal idea just, got away.
Hmm.
Well, if you think about it too, it everything is made to distract us. That's the other thing. So when you're constantly thinking about what am I going to make for dinner? How am I going to create this? Then you're cleaning it up. You're doing that. You're being distracted again
Yeah.
from what's
Do we
really
have
important.
do we have enough calories? It's like,
Yes.
yeah.
And we're not supposed to be distracted by stuff. And that's the thing. Like, we're supposed to, just, yeah, yeah. That's why people say, well, I don't have time to meditate. I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to do that. Yeah, because everything has been made to pull us away from God, basically. Even the food that they tell us is ours. When if it's simple and you know what you're doing, then you can stay connected and you can have time to do your meditations and be connected to God or source or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and we are told that you need this to be healthy, you need that to be healthy. It is the calories. It's yeah, well, we talked about how much fats that you're taking, not more than, 10 grams. And we still get distracted about, what is really natural for the body. I had a client who wanted we talked about amino acids, and then she wanted to have a list of what she needed to eat to get exactly the amino acids the body needs in a day. And I'm like, no, 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 this cannot work that way. And yeah, if you look it up, and you can find whatever food has whatever amino acids, and it's like, this is just crazy. This is never meant to be this way. We're not supposed to count calories in, and yeah, we it can happen that we undereat. I see that with myself. I see that with my husband. Now, I'm never the one who would be underweight, but my husband easily is. So it's like, don't you think you need to eat a little bit more? But other than that, it is a super distraction that you have to count all these things, like, and then wondering, am I getting enough? I think if I have a day like, well, we had our mango tree had everything was ripe and it needed to be eaten, and yeah, it's easily to just take it's more than a meal, three avocados, mangoes. I mean, definitely fill you up. And but then it's like the body knows what to do with it. I'm not going to worry if I get that kind of amino acid or fats or carbohydrates or proteins or whatever. I trust my body. It knows what to do and when to do it. And if I put in a correct fuel, then we're good. And not counting all that stuff. And you know what? That started all after the Second World War, like in the 50s.
Hmm.
Well, the whole vitamin thing even started 100 years ago, but because somebody figured something out, and it keeps puzzling me. It's like, okay, here's your list with all your vitamins, and now go see what you need to eat to get them. Like, no.
Yeah, and the largest manufacturer of vitamins is Big Pharma.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
But
we have some.
yeah, and this is actually where Dr. Morse has a whole section about the vitamins, the coenzymes, and he it well, a whole section, it's 3 pages. But it's like, if you if you feel that you need the vitamin A, which is like beta carotene, what is it, retinol, yeah, there are actions like boost immune system, builds resistance to infections, and I'm like, if we start worrying about all these things, then we forget to live, we forget to breathe, we just worry.
Mm.
Oh, it's like eating the rainbow. People get concerned about, oh, I have to eat the rainbow. No, you don't. Mono eat, you
Yeah,
know.
well, I can see where you would have, I have mono meals. I always have mono meals, but
Hmm.
my second or third meal may be different than my first meal. It
Well,
is,
yeah, of course, but
yeah.
they have even like an app where you can eat the rainbow every day. And it's like, why?
And then you still worry, did I get
Yeah,
enough of this? I mean, did I get enough of that? And then you're telling your body actually, it's like you don't know what to do, That's
yeah,
the outside forces seem to know more than your body would. So
yeah. And I'm gonna say this in this is my own opinion, but if you stay within you're eating your meat, your dairies, your eggs, and you're just going along with the standard diets, everything, then yeah, you probably should worry. There should probably be some worry there in the back of your mind. But if you're going to eat clean and attune to your body and listen to your body, then you probably don't have to worry as much because now you're going to be attuned to your body where you can hear what's going on. You can look into your eyes and say, "Oh, I think I see something," or you can adjust how you need to adjust, that kind of stuff. The more closer you are to what is natural for us to eat, the more you're going to know, "Oh, well, that feels off," or "Now I feel I'm off. I probably need to have some potassium, or maybe I need to eat more vegetables, or maybe I need some nuts and seeds, just things
they
like
have a
that."
term for that. It's called intuitive eating.
Yes. So I mean, like, and that's what I feel too. Like my body tells me what I need. And it comes in ways of like I'm craving grapes today, or I'm craving, like I was craving the cucumber stuff, but I didn't like it. So I made it into the pickle with the lemon juice. And so maybe that was my body saying, like, hey, maybe you need some more. I don't know. I was going to say citrus, but I drink orange juice every day. Something that the cucumbers might have had in it, maybe the salt. So, like, the more aligned you are, the more you can hear what's going on with your body. But the more you numb it out and you do stuff like pizzas and things like that, the more your body is going to have to scream for you to hear it. And by the time it screams for you to hear it, then you're going to have a pretty good uphill battle, possibly.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion.
You want to add anything to that, Gary, before we close up?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
You seem to be thinking.
Did want to say anything about Dr. Morse and aloe. It's not a fruit.
Right,
So if you're detoxing, why would you use aloe vera?
right. Yeah.
So I think maybe that's the issue there. But I don't know. But it's not a fruit. I do know that.
Now, the thing is that Lisa mentioned some people report aloe helps the digestion. And yeah, I can see that. But when you go on all fruit, your digestive system is going to change.
Yeah,
And I think the people who use it for their digestion, they're not on fruit, you know. So
Right.
it's the same as people saying I need coffee to be able to go, otherwise, you know. And it's like, yeah, and then the coffee dehydrates, so it only gets worse. So you're
Mm-hmm.
not
So
helping your
basically,
body.
they need to ingest a poison that the body freaks out about and tries to eliminate through your system as
Exactly.
soon as possible to go to the
Yep.
bathroom.
Yeah, exactly that. Okay,
But I
guys.
hear it all the time too. So, yep.
Yeah, yeah. But now we know what we can say is actually happening in the body. Because the first time I heard that was actually from a guy in his early 20s. I was in my early 20s then. And I was like, when he said, "Oh, I need my coffee, otherwise I can't go." And I was like, already back then I was like, this is crazy. I did not know about the dehydration. That was I learned that later. But yeah. Okay, guys, we did all the questions. So unless
Okay.
Katie comes up with new ones for next week, we'll figure out something to talk about.
Those are
Um,
great questions.
yeah, and this time I actually put it in the well, when I list the video, so people know what we have been talking about. Because I remember you did that long time ago that you added that exactly
Yes.
what we were talking about. That was
Yes, I
always
know.
like, yeah, that's great.
Oh,
Okay,
I wish I
guys,
could
thank
stick to
you
something.
so much for being here. Gary,
Thank
enjoy the
you.
scenery. You have a lot to do there.
Yes, have a
Enjoy.
great time, Gary.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I do envy you a little. Yeah, I wish I was there.
Yeah.
All
Somebody
right.
tell Willem to retire and you guys go on the road too.
Yeah, yeah, we have to work on that old RV of ours and
Uh-huh.
get that running smoothly. It's gonna take some time, but in my mind, I'm already traveling. You know,
Oh, yes.
I have been all over the US, and I would love to see it all again. And yeah, but having like a 42-year-old RV, and then in the back of your mind, does it keep running? And I'm
One
like,
day.
yeah, yeah, we'll see how that goes, but it's definitely in the future. I'm in a beautiful country, and my gosh, I've seen well, I've seen all states but Washington State, North Dakota, and Oregon, and of course Hawaii and Alaska. All the other states I traveled through, stayed in. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So thank you all for being here. Much, much love. Until the next time.
Thank you all.
All right.
Bye-bye.
See you next time.